Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Drakewing Ultra Greatsword, and I've got to say, of the Ultra Greatsword class weapons, this is without a doubt my favorite. I like this thing a lot. It's a fantastic weapon and is pretty cool. Getting started with the weapon itself, the Drakewing Ultra Greatsword requires 20 strength and 18 dexterity in order to wield. It has a D scaling in strength and a B scaling in dexterity. The physical base damage is 340, and for me, my attack rating is 500 with a Ring of Blades +2, so that's a 450 without it. The counter strength of this weapon is 130, the poise damage is 50 per hit, and it weighs a total of 12 units. Now, the way you get this weapon, you trade the Guardian Dragon Soul with Weaponsmith Ornifex, and there you go, you get the weapon. Simple, right? Now, with this weapon, I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well, its R2 attacks, when two-handed, shoot out a blast of air, wind magic, something like that. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that is pure physical damage or if it is magic damage. I did not have the time to test it, so if anyone knows, please get back to me on that, leave a comment on it, and I'll put that in the description. I'll like it, I'll do whatever so everyone can know. With those R2s though, you can do a total of 6 of them before the weapon breaks. If you are wearing a bracing knuckle ring like I am for a good portion of this video, you can do a total of 12, which is pretty fun, and yes, it can get a bit spammy, but I mean, come on, these R2s are kind of fun to use, so it is what it is. Overall, I would have to say that the biggest pro of this weapon would actually be in part of its R2. Now, in the very first fight of the video, you'll notice that I hit a massive amount of damage on that R2. Now, the reason being is because, like a lot of weapons that have special R2s that shoot things, you are able to hit with the weapon itself and whatever it is that you shot out from the weapon at the same time. So, with this weapon, you're able to hit with the sword and with the blast of air that comes out from it, and that can do a massive amount of damage. That can turn a fight around very fast. Also, its R2s are fantastic at chasing down people who run, like I did with that guy earlier who tried to use Estus when he ran away. Managed to smack him with that R2. So, if you use these R2s in an intelligent way, it will be a very, very good weapon for you to use. Other pros about the weapon, you are able to aim the attacks after you press R1 and R2, so that is very good. You're able to manually aim with the left thumbstick. So, like all Ultra Greatswords, like all of the heavier weapons in the game, you do have that ability, and that's a good thing. That pretty much sums up the pros for the weapon. Other than that, it is a very straightforward greatsword, nothing too special about it, just it's a normal greatsword other than those R2s. Damage output actually would be lower than most Ultra Greatswords, but, you know, it is what it is. Right there, I really regret that part of the fight. I should have just gone and finished him off, and, well, I'm not trying to foreshadow anything, but just, should have just finished him off. I should have just finished him off. A little upsetting, but oh well, it is what it is. Other than that, though, yeah, it's a pretty basic weapon. The biggest con of the weapon, I would definitely have to say, would be like it is with all of these weapons that have the ability to aim. You can kind of screw yourself over if you are not paying attention. If you just, for a second, slip up and press on the side while you're trying to swing at someone, it can be kind of bad for your health, to say the least. I had a bit of an issue with it, and it really is shown how easy it is to do in the very last fight of the video. I was able to fight someone else who was using this weapon, and it was a good fight. It was a fantastic fight. Probably one of my favorite fights that I've had in Dark Souls 2 so far, actually, so definitely a good time. But it really does go to show that it is easy to miss if you're not being extremely careful with where you're pressing on the left thumbstick. So, there's that. Other cons of the weapon, if you're not being careful, of course, you will break your weapon. But other than that, the last con I can think of would be the fact that its damage output is significantly lower than other weapons in its class. but you do have the R2s that can hit twice in a single R2, so in my opinion that makes up for it. Now this is the last fight, as I had mentioned earlier. Just pay attention for when both myself and my opponent miss with its R2 attack. It's really easy to do, and you need to be really careful. Right there he did it, and then a little bit later on I do the exact same thing. So that just goes to show it's actually really easy to mess up. So anyway, this is the last fight. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful in one way or another. Please like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.